Welcome to the PlaySlotsForRealMoney.com podcast. I'm here with Alexandr, and the first thing I actually want to talk about is the March 2025 core update. There was a lot of volatility leading up to this. The website fluctuations over the past, I'd say 3 or 4 weeks were pretty hot, but over the past week when the March core update has been rolled out, I haven't seen much volatility. What are your thoughts on that?
I am seeing volatility. Right now, I am seeing volatility, I'd say, with pretty significant. So it could be 20, 30% of clicks varying day by day, which might be normal in some circumstances, but really in not within a span of a couple of days.
Huh. Are you doing that with your Canadian website, your Nigerian
Yeah, that's a
website?
that's a good point because I think it might be kind of region based the rollout or at least the impact because say if we compare the Nigerian and the Canadian website, then you'd see a lot of volatility right now with the Nigerian one, not so much or none at all really with the Canadian one.
Not at all with the Canadian one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe this week it'll pick up and we'll see some positive results.
Hopefully so.
So what else have you been up to in the world of SEO and iGaming?
Well, I'm kind of working more on the on that odds comparison thing that I mentioned
Yeah.
last time. So kind of moving forward with that. So I've picked up some of the APIs from some of the kind of brands that I work with, which makes things a lot easier instead of like scraping the website. So I was very surprised at how welcoming everyone is at sharing that stuff, which is nice. Well, obviously those are probably like partner APIs, but still makes the whole thing a lot easier in terms of building. That's on, I guess, the iGaming front in general. On the CEO side, SEO side, it's uh, I mean, I've kind of reaching that stage of the new year where I'm thinking, okay, it's time to get some backlinks because
Yes.
I haven't purchased any. I've sold a ton, but the the only links that I really got this year are from expired domains, which I mean, as good as any other one, but
Yeah.
uh, the kind of downside there is they're not necessarily context based. So if when I'm talking about getting backlinks, I'm mostly referring to kind of putting sort of a little strategy in place where you'd have tier one backlinks and then you'd build tier two backlinks, and you'd hopefully do that in a way where those pages actually get real traffic.
Well, are you thinking doing like automated bots like RankerX, SE Nuke, those kind
No,
of
no,
old
no.
school bots? No.
Purely manual. Yeah, so probably will work on that. So maybe I'll need to kind of refresh make a refresher on the things that I'm going to target, and then also the things that could rank well. Because sadly, even with a lot of agencies that reach out to publish stuff, the things that they give for me to publish, they will never rank. So I'd say 99% of the things that people send me to get published for money will get 0 clicks in their lifetimes, which is pretty sad because I mean, if people are paying to get a link published, they might as well make the best out of the money that they pay for it.
Yeah.
Um, I don't ask questions because I mean it's fine for me. But in terms of the kind of the customers of the people who buy those guest posts, could be done in a lot like more efficient manner, really.
Now, are you looking just at domain authority? I think we've spoken about this before because my big thing was just the domain authority, the page authority, and also taking into consideration the spam score on the from SEMrush and tools like that. Using Ahrefs and SEM together. Are you using any of that criteria?
Yes, actually, good point because I was planning to implement sort of the spam score check myself because really prior to this I was doing a spam score, well, a kind of a spam backlink check
Hmm.
anyway, but I was doing that manually. So let's say if I'm considering 10 websites where I want to publish links, then first of all, I check who is buying from them, and then who is linking to them. And there's a very, very good sweet spot where all the right people are buying from them and all the right people are linking to them, and that's kind of the best options. But yeah, obviously look I would check for kind of bad backlinks for anything that could hinder the value, but it's not that straightforward, especially recently, or I don't know, maybe it's just me that I started noticing it, where a lot of domains, especially if you go on the expired marketplace, good domains, they get kind of just spam attacked by backlinks that point to link resellers. So it's, I guess, kind of a strategy of how they advertise their services, but literally almost any good expired domain will get spammed with those backlinks in a matter of probably a couple of hours after it expires and it's up for sale. If you look up my Nigerian website on Ahrefs right now in the backlink audit, then you'll see a lot of those like all caps Telegram channel links, just like to the
Yeah.
home page, to all the different pages. And really, you can't control that by like you don't disavow them, because that's kind of misusing the disavow tool according to Google's
Yeah,
guidelines.
those aren't links.
Yeah, exactly. So you just let them be. And I let them be, and I don't see any issues with them necessarily. Probably the real kind of toxic backlinks that I'd be looking to avoid is links on irrelevant resources. So let's say if it's like a poker website that has tons of links from like health, education, kindergarten websites, shopping mall websites, and all of that stuff, that's kind of a big red flag of I know some how do you call it, a black hat, kind of a black hat work on there, which I'd probably want to avoid. Unless I see anything like that, I think it's good.
Now, when just for the audience, when we're talking about Black Hat, we're talking about Black Hat SEO, not Black Hat hacking. Black Hat
Yeah,
SEO is just using aggressive and things that violate Google's guidelines. Years ago, the Black Hat links used to work great. I mean, when I used to use RankerX, I used to use SE Nuke. I mean, we're talking 10 years ago, and that was that was just so easy when you automated everything, and it was just a set and forget kind of thing. Um, but it's changed now, and I really focus on, like what you said, the content of the website. If a website's just, if it's not, say, slots related or gambling related, I'm not, no matter how high the authority is, I'm going to move away from that because
yeah, yeah.
I
I
think it's
mean,
toxic.
you could kind of, there is this kind of there is this kind of thin line there, because say you could squeeze something in that genuinely makes sense. Let's say if it's a website about movies, and then you'd pick a movie about football, and then some way or another you kind of and let's say you have an article on your website about a football team and football players that starred in the movie, and then you tie that all together nicely, where your article talks about how one of the players starred in the movie and how much money they made, and then the article refers to your your guest post refers to your article as the source of information of like the paycheck of the player for starring in the movie, and you could tie that very nicely together where it makes sense.
That is a good point because those links aren't bad. I mean, if you
Yeah,
do it,
those, yeah, if they're tied together nicely, then they're good.
but what you're talking about is, putting the effort into it, and I think that's what differentiates a lot of stuff that does work and doesn't work.
Yes, exactly, and that's why it's such a pity to see that when people send stuff to get published, it's very like it's like super random. Not all of it. Like some of the publishers that I work with, the things that they send, they're usually a hit rather than a miss. So I have some like good publishers that have like I mean I call them publishers, but they're like SEO agencies that do like backlink strategies for customers, and the stuff that they send is good. They do the research, and the
Yes.
stuff that they like let's say maybe 3 or 4 of the highest ranking or like the most frequently clicked on pages on one of my websites is from them.
I recently actually started doing the same. I'm reached out to an SEO agency to get the backlinks because the manual outreach has just been crazy. I mean, it just takes hours and hours to get a response from people. So I've done the same, and I've gotten good results.
Yeah, it's good. It's great. I mean, the only thing it's always a trade-off whether you're willing to pay more and spend less time, or if you have the resource, then you can obviously outsource it. I've done it myself with this company called Bazoom. I'm not affiliated with them or anything, but I just use them. And I use them for several reasons. They have a very good database of publishers. So you can either have them do the outreach, them do the content writing, them do the backlink research, or like sometimes what I do is I just go onto their platform, look at the database of their publishers, and reach out to them myself if I need to.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That is a good idea.
Yeah. So yeah, they have just like a very like easily intuitive interface, and they integrate a lot of Ahrefs APIs into the interface, so you kind of get that as well.
Some of the services are legit. I mean, they're hard to find because you get so many spammy, and people that even do manual outreach but just don't know what they're doing as far as going for the links. But they are out there. They are, and they work.
Yeah, yeah. Manual outreach. It's I mean the stuff that like sometimes I get is pretty funny when yeah.
It does work though. Just well, I just want to say, I did do a lot of manual outreach, and it definitely worked, and it probably saved me a lot of money in the long run. This was years ago on a different site, and it ranked very well. In fact, it still ranks well. But now, it's just getting more difficult. So many SEOs are pretty much not spamming, but they're emailing people for their the manual outreach. So it's harder to even get a response from my perspective.
Yeah, I mean it could be, although usually when I do it, I really just narrow things down to like 3 or 4 websites and target those. Um, Interesting question. What was the and I think that might be kind of an interesting thing to maybe put in like just the headline here. So, what was the most expensive link that you've either bought or sold?
The most expensive link, probably 2,500. No, that wasn't bought.
That's
That
what you
was
sold.
one. Yeah, no, I thought you said bought.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was something I bought, but it was a really good link. I will say that. What about you?
Yeah. So, I mean, the most expensive one that I've bought wasn't actually that expensive, I guess. I think it wasn't. It was around like if you convert it to dollars, probably around $400. That was the
Mm,
most expensive one, and the
that's
most
not bad.
expensive that I sold was if we're talking about just the guest post, then again, it would have been around like $550.